Well, folks, in today's video, we're going to be opening this box from a guy named Tom. I think he's friends with my main man, Peter Wacko. And anyways, they've specified on the box here to open this with my girlfriend and sister. So we're going to be opening this thing up and seeing what's inside. So let's just get into it.
We're getting it. Oh my god, it smells minty. Wow. Thanks for your thought.
I wonder what flavor.
Lots of things for Nerf Cat. New ones. I don't think he's had these before. Lots of American candy. We don't have this stuff either. Assuming this is just for SMT.
It might not be. Maybe you guys have your very first model train. Oh, holy crap, it's a Centennial. Ah, look at that.
Love these.
Okay, so here's something I should just point out.
Yeah, what is that?
In America, you guys call these things Smarties. In Canada, they're known as Rockets.
Smarties are little chocolate things that are
Yeah.
The M&M plain chocolate. That's like our Smarties.
Sweet.
This is cute. Wow.
It's a cool engine.
Yeah. Peppermint patties. I love all the mint in here.
Lots of almonds.
Getting protein and sugar.
All the good stuff.
There you go. There's so much stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I think we've hit the trains now.
Yeah.
It's a sweet looking Erie Lackawanna. It's a Savarni
Another part.
Gilbert HO. Wow.
Another Union Pacific. Oh, we got a little escapee.
Nice man to a Tyco.
There's a big box under there.
Maybe this is what goes with said show.
Oh, sweet.
There's also always a message here.
I can't believe this was supposed to be thrown in the garbage. That's a nice motor there.
What's that?
And another one also runs.
Yeah. This is very well wrapped.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
This one's only for me to open, and if I like it, I'll keep it, and if not, I'll give it to Harry.
All right, moment of truth.
Let's see. It's a little Christmas.
Oh.
Polar bears. So it's so cute. That's so fun. Yeah, this is definitely for me, not Sherry.
Polar bears and Santa's helpers. I feel like we should just take a bin and try to like put all the candy on one side or something.
I think we're
Like, mostly through it.
Yeah.
Of course there. Yeah, there's more under.
Oh.
Yeah,
Nice.
oh, I think that part's
Nice old lifelike. Whoa, yeah, that's pretty unusual. I think that right there is the true bottom of the box. Well, huge thanks to my sister and girlfriend for helping out with this unboxing. I think we'll go test out some of the locomotives now. Alright, well I got all the locomotives all set up for testing here. Apparently some of these run, but I'm not sure which ones do, so we'll have to go through them all one at a time and just see what works and what doesn't. Starting with this Southern Pacific switcher, and I believe this is a lifelike locomotive, and these lifelike protos tend to be fairly reliable. They were basically Athearn Blue Box clones, and as such they have fairly good drives. The only real problem with them is that the gears sometimes fail, which I think maybe happened with this one. Doesn't mean it won't work. Let's see here. Yeah, definitely runs. Yeah, it's got some problems, but I mean, it's not horrible. I'm sure with a new set of gears that would be more than a good locomotive. At least the motor's healthy. And then right here, we've got an Athearn. I don't think that this can start with one set of wheels. I mean, we could probably try to connect those wires up and see if we could get it to start that way. Well, The motor doesn't sound terribly healthy, but with another rear truck and some new bands, I think this could definitely run under its own power, so that's positive. Next up, we got the Mantua Tyco Burlington Northern. I think it's an F7, I'm not entirely sure, but either way, these tend to be pretty good locomotives. The only thing is that the wheels oxidize, because, you know, a lot of these are like 60 years old, but I think this one's gonna run. Let's see. Giving it power, and oh, that's promising. It's definitely thinking about it. Yeah. Once you get these things moving, they tend to kind of clear off a bit of that oxidization and they start to run. I mean, this really just needs to be gone through and given some fresh oil and a proper cleaning, but yeah, that's pretty impressive. You know, you never know how long a locomotive like this has been sitting, so very good. And here we've got the old Lifelike. It's funny because I just repaired a locomotive which had a similar issue with the rear truck, and unfortunately this locomotive, I believe, was in a flood at some point. You can just kind of see that there's, you know, some rust on it here and there, and that to me just looks like kind of floodwater mud right there, so we'll see if it will start. I'm a little bit doubtful about this one. I mean, usually these Lifelikes are fairly good about firing up, but I don't know. Putting 12 volts in the track. I just saw a little bit of a flicker there. Can't tell if there actually was a flicker or if the light just kind of bounced off the windows there, but either way, as I suspected, this one unfortunately is not a runner. Anyways, next up we've got, I think this is a Revell of some sort, that or a Marks, I'm not entirely sure, but we'll test it out here. Giving it 12 volts. Hear the motor getting power. Got high current draw. I'll see if just turning this over manually will get it moving. I'm definitely going to have to go through this and try to fix it properly at some point, but we can at least test if the motor is any good. And now after turning the drive over manually, it doesn't even want to pick up power, so clearly there's some stuff that's amiss there. Moving on. This is a really nifty locomotive. The Lackawanna paint scheme is pretty cool. I haven't worked with too much Gilbert HO equipment. I'm curious to see if this one is going to start. It's not seized, which is already a good beginning, but let's try it out here. Giving it 12 volts. So far, not seeing much from it. Oh! Oh, I got a working headlight. Oh, yeah. And the motor's trying to turn too. Yeah, that one doesn't want to turn over. I'm not going to force the motor anymore. I don't want to burn out any of those coils. Now this one right here is pretty unique. It's made by Fleischmann, and I've seen some similar locomotives, but not a powered model. And I haven't seen one with this paint scheme before. All the others I've seen have more of a yellow and green sort of look to them. So this is really unique. But the thing I'm really curious to see is if it runs, and if it does run, how well will it go? I heard something. Was it just settling on the track? What was that? Headlights working. This has definitely been sitting a long time. Starting to power through it. It just probably needs oil, and I think the wheels need a really good cleaning because it's just struggling right now. It's definitely improving, but I think we'll quit running it for now and just stop it until we can actually get some proper oil in there. I mean, the fact it's able to somehow draw power through those wheels is pretty remarkable. So yeah, clearly with a little bit of work, I think this will be an excellent locomotive. Moving on, we've got a AHM, and the wheels don't look fantastic. I kind of wonder if this might be another flood locomotive. I'll throw it on the track and see what it does here. I like the kind of snow paint scheme somebody's added onto it. Kind of reminds me of Runaway Train. Oh! I bet with a little bit of movement, it will probably do the same thing as the other one just did. Yeah, there we go. The headlight's working. It's kind of dim, but yeah, overall, not a bad runner for what it is. I'm sure with a wheel cleaning, this thing would run like a dream. It's pretty quiet too. And these old AHM locomotives are really not that bad. I mean, they're not Athearn quality or anything like that, but considering what they used to sell these things for, you gotta give them credit for starting after so many years. Now, I've got what I believe is a -9, and this locomotive is very unique. I noticed while I was unboxing it that on the front here, it's got plastic dummy wheels. On the back, it's got a few metal wheels. It's short 2 right there. So I can't tell if this was at one point a powered locomotive that somebody tried to convert into a dummy, or in vice versa, and it was a dummy engine which somebody added powered parts to. Either way, it's only rear wheel pickup and rear wheel drive, so a little bit odd. I'll try to give it power anyways. It might be able to salvage some through that back wheel, and maybe it will run. I mean, the motor and everything else certainly don't look bad. Just before we go trying to do that, actually, I'm gonna need to grab a jumper because you need to connect those up. Whenever I see locomotives like this, I always wonder, what the story behind them is. So far, nothing. I just gotta love the old Athearns, you can have like one wheel picking up power and they still start up. Very impressive. I luckily have a lot of Athearn Blue Box parts hanging around because these are cross-compatible with a lot of other engines that they made. So with a bit of work, we could have a really sweet-looking BNSF-9 or whatever this engine happens to be. Now this locomotive right here, I believe is supposed to be in working order. I think it's a Stuart. Yeah, it actually says so right there. And these are wonderful runners. They're super quiet, so I suspect that this thing is just gonna run like an absolute dream. Quickly throw it on the track here. And well, yeah, absolutely perfect. The headlight's working well. Yeah, there's really nothing wrong with it. Could probably use some handrails and maybe a couple couplers, but other than that, what a great looking and great running locomotive. And finally, I saved the most exciting for last. This is a Bachmann. It's one of the newer models though. You can see it's all-wheel drive, so I don't know if this is supposed to be in working order or not, but I'd give it a fair chance. It looks okay. Anyways, let's give it power. Yeah, no problem. Even the yard light's working. The contact system, I think, could maybe use some work, but other than that, I mean, it's running. Okay, maybe I spoke too soon. I think maybe one of the drive shafts isn't working. Yeah, that right there is not normal performance. Yeah, so it's got a good motor, it's got a good electrical system, but unfortunately something is wrong with one of the drive shafts. I've seen that happen a few times on these Bachmanns. There just isn't a whole lot of contact area for them to actually hang on. So if we open this thing up, score up the metal, and add some crazy glue, we could probably get this thing to run a heck of a lot better. And with the all-wheel drive, this would actually be a terrific puller. Anyway, I think that that's going to be about it for today's video. A huge thanks goes out to Tom and all the crew out there for sending all this stuff. Apparently a bunch of these engines were picked out of a dumpster, so I think it's really cool that they're going to get another lease on life, and I can't wait to go through each one and try to get them going again. Of course, there's just some absolute gems in here too, which I think are going to be a lot of fun to run in some future live streams. And a huge thanks for including my girlfriend and sister on this one. I think they had a lot of fun helping to open up the boxes, and everyone's been enjoying the bonbons, including Nerf Cat with his little biscuits that you sent. So yeah, huge thanks for that. Anyways, with that, I just want to thank you all so much for watching.